Welcome to the Pink Elephant Podcast, y'all. I am Shanay and I am your host. And thank you so much for being here today. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think you're going to like it here. And then if this is your second time or third time coming back, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming back. So listen, today I want to dig into a part two of last week's episode. So last week, I shared that so much has changed. And I thought I'd found my dream job only to realize that it was not my dream job at all. And I started to talk about just the transition that I'm in now in terms of leaving that season of working in corporate America, working what I thought was my dream job to being a full-time podcaster. So I'm really excited, guys. And I have to be honest, like, I kind of got in my head too. So I want to be honest and I want to talk about the transition. And then I also want to help someone out today. I want to help someone let go of the fear of starting something new. Because I get questions all the time like, Shanay, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. Or, Shanay, like, I feel the same way as you in terms of finding my passion, my dream job, and all the things. And I just need to know where to start. So hopefully today I can give you guys some guidance towards finding that sweet spot and just kind of jumping out, like jump out, pop out on faith and work towards what it is that God has called you to do. So let's jump into it. All right. So first, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. Okay. So I want to address the fact that, y'all, it has not been easy for me to get like momentum going now transitioning out of work. I think that sometimes we have a tendency to overthink a lot of the things that we already know to be true, right? So I already know like my gift is speaking. Like I already know that that's my gift. I know that that's my passion. I know that that's what I've been designed to do is to use my voice. And then I get into this space now and I'm overthinking like, how does that look? And what should I say? And, I want to make sure I'm not, being, too critical or too judgmental or saying this or saying that. And you get kind of like caught up in worrying about what other people are going to feel or how they're going to accept you or things like that. And I had to kind of like, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. First of all, I'm having to take a step back and go back to the things that I know are true, which is Shanay, you know who you are now. Like, you know who you are. You know the truth about who you are. So what other people think about you, it doesn't really matter. At the very end of the day, none of it really matters. Like, I really love and respect you guys. I thank God for the people who have been encouraging me along the way. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I have to be comfortable about the things that I do, I say, and be myself, right? Be authentic. My whole brand is about being able to be exactly who you are without fear or worrying about, what other people are going to think or feel. Like you can't live authentically and have those things on your mind at the same time. It's just no way you can do it. So as I'm growing, I want you guys to know that I am still being tested in the areas that I feel like I've been delivered from and grown from. Now here's the test to see if you've really grown from it. Have you really grown out of thinking about what other people or caring about what other people think about you? Have you really grown from that? And then have you really gotten to the place where you believe? Like, do you really believe or do you think you believe? Like, these are the tests that you find yourself in, even as you continue to push forward in your journey, in your passion, in your career, in your endeavors. Those are the things that you find yourself being faced with. And so now I'm in this space where I'm finding myself being tested in so many ways. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And I want to take a second to recognize the fact that, Shanay, you give yourself grace. This is new for you. This is new, uncharted territory for you. And you just want to do well, but understand that God is in control and your well is you're already going to do well. So anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and say that because you guys might have noticed that I haven't done a lot of content lately. And I haven't really been on lives and things like that. And it's really because of just trying to figure out what I should say next and how I should say it. And I think I've gotten too wrapped up in that mindset and in that space that I've been unable to really come and be authentic and share with you all. So I just wanted to address that. And please be in prayer for me as I continue to move through this season and learn and grow, right? So that's that. So I just wanted to put that out there and let you guys know where I'm at right now. But now that I've shared that, I do want to jump into what I have for you all, and that is helping you get over the little hump, right? So I really remember like vividly trying to think about like how am I going to get started, what I want to do, and how do I want to do it, and what does that mean if I want to do this? Like I was just like really truly in a space where I didn't really know what direction to go in when I first started my brand. So if you are thinking about starting a brand, starting a business, throwing in events, or just doing something new, I want to speak to you today. So let's hop into it.
All right. So every time that I do a speaking engagement or I do a podcast episode where I share my personal experiences with you all, I get so many emails, calls, texts. People stand and wait to talk to me after I've done a speaking engagement. And the thing that I found is that everybody feels very similarly. Like everyone wants to find their sweet spot. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to find joy. And I think that the common, I guess the common trend that I've heard from other people is that like I just don't know where to start. And so that is crippling because I remember feeling like I don't know where to start. Like I don't even know what I want to do. And so I do know that that's a real thing, but I want to help you out with that real quick because I don't want that to be the reason why you don't start now in the second half of this year. All right. So I'm going to give you an example from a lady who came up to me and just wanted advice. And hopefully you'll see yourself in this story and you'll be able to apply some of the advice that I gave to her to your own life. So after I finished an event, I had a young lady come up to me and she was like, Shanae, I really want to talk to you. I feel like I'm in a space where I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know what I like to do. And I just don't know how to get started. And so my question to her was, well, what do you like to do? What do you find yourself interested in? And she was like, I really want to do interior decorating. I feel like I've always been interested in interior decorating. I just don't know like how to go about doing interior decorating. I mean, I don't even know if anybody would watch or anybody would want me to do it. Like I don't know. And so right then and there, my thought was, okay, if you know that you enjoy doing interior decorating, that's like way ahead of what I had going on before I found or got into my passion. To know what you already like to do is really, really great. So if you already know what you like to do, don't try to talk yourself out of it. If you know you want to do interior decorating, then just say that and own it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to say is own it. Own your interests, own your passion, own your thing. Okay. So don't try to talk yourself out of it. Don't try to talk around it. Don't try to make it not make sense. Don't try to make yourself not fit. If you want to be an interior decorator, then the next day you wake up in the morning, you get up and you say, I am an interior decorator. And as simple as that, you are now an official interior decorator. The thing that we got to get out of our minds is that we need someone else to give us the title. And I'll give you a little bit more about me. So I knew I wanted to do it. Like I knew I wanted to have a show. Like I wanted to have a talk show. I see myself like every time I think about Oprah, I get giddy and I get excited because I would love to experience a show like the Oprah Winfrey Show. Like I just thought that that was amazing for her to be able to meet so many people and speak to so many people and experience stories from other people. I want to do that. Like I would love to sit with other people and hear them share out the experiences that they've gone through. Doesn't mean I have to agree with their opinions. Doesn't mean I have to, convert to their faith or religion or whatever. It's about listening and hear and letting someone else be heard. I love the idea of that. So knowing that, right, I wanted to like start creating content, and I want to talk, and I want to just be on TikTok, and I want to have thousands of followers. I want to be on Instagram. I want to have millions of followers, all these things, so that someday someone will see me and they'll be like, I'm going to give that girl a show. And, waiting on that to happen is like wasting time. Okay. Waiting for someone to see you, recognize you, and then name you as a host or as a this phenomenon or whatever, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Instead, I decided that I would create my own show and call myself a host, right? So I have given myself the title as a host. So even if no one else watches my show, no one watches my podcast, no one watches my content, I am still considered a host. Nobody can take that from me. I've given myself the title. I've crowned myself. Okay. So, what I want you to do, whoever you are, if it isn't interior decorating, if it's something else, go ahead and call yourself that thing, become the thing, embrace the thing. Don't talk yourself out of it. Own it. All right. That's my first tip. Own the space that you want to be in. Own it. Now, how do you go about owning it? How, Shanae, like, I don't know. Like, what do I need to do to own it? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You can simply go on your Instagram page or create a new page if you want to. And under your bio, it has space for you to create a title, and you can put right there interior decorator. Now you are Chanel Moore and you are an interior decorator. Period. Who gonna check you? But when you own something, you're saying that I don't care what anyone else has to say. I don't care about the criticism. This is what I am and who I am in this space and in this season. And I am embracing all of it. So, part of embracing it and part of owning it is not allowing what other people think about it or their criticism to change the fact that that's who you are and where you are in that season. Own it. Okay. All right. We're owning it. So now you are an interior decorator. You have the title on your Instagram page and on your TikTok. What do you do then? What's next, Shanae? What do I do now? I got the title. What do I do? Well, let's go into that. So we changed our title on Instagram. We changed our title on TikTok. What are we doing now? So now you have to be brave enough to let us have an inside seat to what your interior decorating experiences look like, right? And it doesn't have to be anything super big or any type of like studio lighting and all these cameras and all these things. You don't even have to do all that. You can simply take us to a space in your home that you are proud of, that you decorated, that you thought of a concept for and you created, and you can show us and share with us how you created that space. If you haven't created a space yet, allow us to see the steps of you creating the space. So last week I shared how I've been um designing and decorating this space that I'm in right now inside my studio. And I could have very well recorded myself from A to Z, putting this room together. And I could have shared that out with you guys to show you how I thought of this concept and I mapped it out and put piece by brick together. And that's allowing you guys to come into the story with me and share the experience as I decorate this space. By doing so, you are one, creating content. Two, you are allowing other people to be invested in what you're invested in. And three, is also giving you a stepping stone into the next thing, right? So for instance, I like going to TJ Maxx. I like going to Home Goods. I like going to Marshalls. I like going to Ross. I like finding things. So if you are starting to build out a space, take us with you. Take us with you on your shopping trips. Share how you found this vase and how this vase is going to be incorporated into the space, and share how that vase changes the atmosphere or it makes your space light up by having flowers. Talk about texture, talk about carpets, talk about curtains, talk about the process that it takes to build a space out. And then think about it like, who is your audience? Who do you want to help? or who do you want your content to be seen by, right? And then that will help you understand what kind of content to put out. Just start somewhere. So turn on your camera on your phone. Let us see the space that you built out in your home. Let us see you building your space in your home and capture the moments along the way. That is easy, simple steps to jumping out and starting somewhere. So, one, you've owned it. Now, two, you are allowing yourself to build out the title that you have by bringing us into the space with you, sharing. So, you own it, then you share it. Okay, you share it. What do you do next? Shanay, how do I keep going? How do I build upon me sharing this stuff on Instagram and on TikTok? How do I keep going from there? Like, what do I need to do next? Let's talk about it. So now that you've started to share out, the next practical step would be to offer some type of service to other people. So let's say someone you know is moving into a home, or someone you know needs help decorating a nursery for their kid, or someone, maybe you don't even know anyone, but maybe you want to put it out there on TikTok or on Instagram that you're able, or you're offering consultations to create a space. Put yourself out there. If you have a friend who believes in you, ask her, can you use her space to create a vision, her vision for her, and use that as part of your portfolio to build your clientele, right? So it doesn't have to be anything grand. It could just be simply she wants to redo her half bath downstairs. I meet with her. I talk about her concept. I shop with her. I show the content of us shopping together, us having the consultation, and I just share the process from A to Z to share that I know how to take someone's vision and create something amazing. Sometimes it takes time to figure out what it is that you really want to do. All right. So I don't want you to think that once you decide to do something, that's the end all be all. It doesn't have to be like that. Sometimes along the way, you do something and then you be like, I didn't really enjoy doing that. I want to start over. Be okay with starting from scratch. The point is, if you start doing something, you learn very quickly what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you need to learn more about, or what you don't want to do at all. I'll give you guys an example. I created a shirt for my husband. It was the rose shirt, and it had black and white stripes. Everybody inquired about it. People wanted to know how to buy it. It was like this big old thing, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start designing shirts for big and tall guys because my husband's big and tall. It's hard to find shirts for him. It's hard to find clothes that I think are modern, goes with his vibe, things like that. So I created it myself. So once I created it, of course, I put it out there, and then other people reached out to me to say, hey, Shanay, can you do this for me? Can you create this for me? And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, when I put myself out there to start creating and customizing for other people, I learned pretty quickly that that was not something that I really wanted to do. I am more of a creative that uses inspiration to create. I don't like creating on a whim. I don't like just creating something because somebody wants it. Like I rather do something that I feel really, really good about, passionate about, something spoke to me, which caused me to want to create it and then put it out there. And if somebody sees it and they want to buy it, cool. But if not, cool. I didn't lose anything because I'm putting something out there that I believe in. The moment where somebody's like, I want this color, this and that, it kind of gets a little hard for me because I might not believe in it and my name is on it, right? And so I learned very, very quickly that I don't really enjoy customizing pieces for people. My space might be more so just putting out little drops here and there. I might drop something that spoke to me. If people grab it, they grab it. If not, that's okay. But I don't feel like customizing and doing things like that is my space. But the only way I knew that was by putting myself out there, trying it, finding out that I don't really like it. And now I can move on because now I know what I don't like, which helps me understand what I do like doing. You see, I can cross that off the list. Nobody has to come to me and say, hey, can you do this? And I'm saying, yeah, I can do it. No, I cannot do it. I cannot do it and I don't want to do it. And that's okay. And that's okay. So I want us to understand that it's okay to shift, to pivot to something else once you get started. All right. So now we're going to get into just the other side of things, right? I want to talk about what I've learned along the way. So now that you found your space, right? You're owning it, you're sharing it out, you're doing content, and then you're also building your portfolio to build a clientele and make money. All right. So let's talk about once you've gotten your process together, your systems together, and you are now doing it. You're doing it, right? Let's talk about the other side of that because I want to make sure that I'm always being transparent about the journey, right? Because I don't want to paint the picture that after you have all those things in place, you're just going to start flourishing and everything is just going to start. You got money coming in, you racking up, like everybody asking you to decorate their house. Let's talk about the real. Let's get into it. So the real of it all is that even though you may have found your spot, your space, and you are sharing it on social media and you have decorated one or two friends' nurseries or bathrooms, that might not be the turning point in terms of like you building out this amazing career in business, right? It might not equal I'm about to set it off from here. I'm about to blow up. That might not happen like that. And most times it doesn't happen like that. And I want to prepare you for a time or a space that you may find yourself in where you're having to encourage yourself. So let's talk about encouraging yourself. You have to be willing to encourage yourself throughout the entire journey. Okay. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I know how it feels to be passionate and be like excited about something and be surrounded by people who have no interest in what you're doing, and they may not even see the vision and they may not even see you as talented in that space. And so what do you do in those instances where somebody, you're around people that don't even believe in you or they don't share the same passion as you, and you got to still keep going? Because if not, you back at square one where you just working your 9 to 5, you don't feel fulfilled, you stop doing content, you stop putting out or asking to do work for other people. You're not doing anything anymore because you're discouraged. I don't want you to get to that point because there are going to be so many times where you don't even know like if anything is really working. Like you kind of just doing it, you putting out content, you barely getting any likes, you barely get any views, you tied up in the algorithm got you all like just you don't know if you should post on Tuesday in the morning or Wednesday at night. You just wrapped up in all the things because you are so stuck on trying to be successful. And that can be super, super discouraging when you think that, you found your sweet spot, but then everything else is saying otherwise. Just know that it's going to take time to one, build a community, two, to find people who are around you and in your circle who can inspire you to keep going. All right, this is going to step on people's toes today. Your friends up until that point are great. They're amazing friends. That's an amazing circle. Y'all go to brunch, y'all go out of town, y'all have gone to Miami, and y'all didn't fall out. Okay, so you are really tight with your friends. Great. But now that you are in a new space and you're in a new season and you're going in a new direction, you have to be comfortable with finding and experiencing new things with new people. All right. That means that that friend that you typically go to brunch with and y'all turn up, or y'all might do yoga together or whatever have you, and y'all have those interests together, may not be the same friend that you need to go with to networking events or classes, or or even just go to talk about things with, that might not be the friend anymore. And the quickest uh, okay, what am I trying to say? The moment you decide to be okay with that is the moment that you are able to grow and be free. All right, let me back up. The moment you realize that that friend can't go with you to that event and you might have to go by yourself is the moment that you will be set free. All right. And the moment that you stop worrying about hurting people's feelings, you're wanting to grow and make change in your own personal life, is the moment again that you are free. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to be, or you can't be friends with her anymore. You can't take her to different things, or y'all can't go places together. That does not mean that. But it does mean that you might have to be okay with, in this time period, in this space, in your life, in this season, you have to do things alone. I had to do that. I had to do that. And the reason why I had to do that in my personal journey was because I quickly realized that my vision for my brand meant that women would have to be mature and would have to have gone to therapy to get over the hurt, get over some of the dysfunction, get over some of the myths that we've had or we've been taught as women that make us think that we can't work together, we can't get along, we can't have meaningful relationships, we can't have healthy friendships. That requires a certain type of woman. And my brand is all about that. And so for me, I have to believe those things. I have to know those things. I would have had to heal from a lot of the things that I've experienced or done or I've been, or forgive myself for not being a good friend or being the girl that was mean to someone. I would have to grow out of those things in order to be able to shift the paradigm about sisterhood within the Black community. So that means that I can't be around or I can't sit in spaces where women are struggling with that because I want to go to the other side of it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for y'all. Like, it doesn't mean that those women who I've been around and I'm friends with are bad people. It just means that I can sit with you for a little while, but I can't sit with you too long, because if I sit with you too long, it's going to stunt my growth and my ability to see that there is another side to mental and emotional maturity, right? And it takes you being comfortable enough to shift from those spaces to a new space in order to really grow and see that you have the full potential to be what God has called you to be. If you stay there, you're not going to grow and you're not going to get to the place that you need to get to. And it doesn't mean that you're leaving anybody behind forever, but then again, you could be leaving some people behind, and you have to again be okay with that. Are you okay with leaving others behind? That's the question. Like, ultimately, that's the question. Are you okay with leaving some people behind to get to where you need to go? Like, are you okay with that? Because if you're not okay with it, you might as well turn this podcast off and you might as well cancel the idea of wanting to do something for yourself, having a brand, growing, because you're not going to be able to do that unless you're okay with leaving some people behind. And when I say leaving people behind, that doesn't mean like you got to cut people off or, just be, I ain't talking to them no more. Sometimes you do. But in all cases, you don't have to do that. But you can't take those same people with you to the new places that you need to go. You can't. She don't know how to act. She can't hold her liquor. She can't go with you to the networking event that has an open bar. She can't go. It's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. She can't go. You might have to ask Sandra. You never really go anywhere with Sandra. You always see Sandra out at other events, but y'all never gone anywhere together. That might be the person that you now need to link up with for those events. You can't take um Tara to those events because Tara is not, she doesn't even, that's not even her industry. That's not her world. That's not what she's interested in. She doesn't care about meeting people. That's not her thing. And that's okay. But she can't go. So are you okay with going alone or finding new people to go with you? That becomes the question. Are you okay with letting people go so that you can grow? And I really wasn't necessarily going there with this episode, but it really does beg the question, because if you're not willing to do those things, baby, you're not willing to go on this journey. You're not willing to be no interior decorator, honey, because everybody's not going to believe in you. And you have to surround yourself with people who believe in you or believe in themselves enough to know that there are things that they have to get rid of, people that they have to leave behind in order to see success. That's just the truth. The good news, though, the good news is that sometimes when you let things go and you keep moving, you will see that those things that are meant to come back towards you, or those people who are meant to come back, they find their way back towards you. And if not, again, that's okay, because now you've put yourself in a position to meet new people who are in a space to help you elevate in that particular season. And that's okay too. My goal is to be a person that can help people get to where they want to go. Like, I feel like that's the best accomplishment, to be able to inspire somebody else to grow. Like, I don't want to be a person who feels like I'm the only one that can grow around here. I'm the only one who can be successful. I'm the only one who can work with the lip bar. No, girl, you know how to put on clothes, you know how to put on makeup. Work with the lip bar. Let me show you how I did it. Let me talk to you about what I've experienced. I'm that person and I want to be that person. And if it's hard for you to find yourself being willing to share because you have fear of, like, I don't want anybody to beat me, or I don't want anybody to outshine me, really do some self-work. Like, I'm not saying I have not always been how I am right now. Like, I have grown into being who I am today. Like, God did some work in me, through me, over me, under me, around me, for me to get to the place that I'm in. So I don't want to make it seem like I've always been, mature to allow women to be who they are around me, and take up space with me, or, I haven't always been confident, because meaning that I may have been rude to somebody for no reason because of my insecurities, or I may have looked down on someone, for the mistakes that they made, not understanding that I made several mistakes in my life. It takes a certain level of maturity and mental and emotional growth to get to that place. So if you are not there yet, discover the things that's keeping you from getting there. Pray that God removes that spirit from you so that you can love, like fully truly love people, and you can embrace other women, deal with the hurt from relationships or your relationship with your mom, your sister, from past friendships. Deal with those things in therapy so that you can really truly embrace what it means to be a sister to other people. And the last thing that I want to say to for women is that be the sister that you want others to be to you, right? So if you walk into a room and you don't know anybody there, how would you want other people to greet you? How would you want other people to embrace you? How do you want other women to view you, or give how much grace would you want others to give you? And when you think about that, I want you to also think about how you can give that to others. The next time you're somewhere and you see a young lady by herself, or the next time you see someone out and you don't know her, but you may have seen her a couple of times, go up to her, introduce yourself. Hey, I've seen you a few times. I never got a chance to introduce myself. I'm Shanay. What's your name? Okay, it's so good to see you. I've been wanting to kind of connect with you. Are you on social media? Let me follow you. I want to follow you. I'm on social media. I do this on social media. And I would love to kind of like just, get to know you more. What why not extend that and just let it come from a sincere place. Everybody knows how it feels to be like isolated and alone and uncomfortable. Don't allow your sister to feel that. Don't allow her to feel that. When you see me, I might not always be like, believe it or not, y'all, I'm not like this. Oh, hey, extrovert all the time. Sometimes I'm in my little shell. I'm in my little box. I'm in my little bucket. I make it a point to speak to people as much as I can. Some days you might not have it. So when you see me, come up to me. say hey to me, introduce yourself to me. I love meeting new people. You never know like how you're going to bless someone that day. So be a blessing to others, inspire others, embrace your sister, be the sister you want someone to be to you. Okay? But y'all, we are not sitting on our gifts this season. Okay. We are not sitting around waiting for somebody to come and be like, okay, yes, you right there. I got an opportunity for you. Create the opportunity for yourself. Become the interior decorator tomorrow or right now. Go on Instagram, change your title to interior decorator, change your title to songwriter. Whatever it is that you know that you have been called to be, go ahead and be it. So we own it, right? And then we start to share it, right? And then we need to build our portfolio by actually practicing it. And I didn't use the term practice, but practice is fitting there too. The things that you share, practice doing those things in a way that you have not done it before. So offer to do someone's bathroom, offer to do someone's nursery. If you are a event coordinator, offer to do someone's event. Do your own event. Like step out and do something. Practice. But then after all of that is done, understand that the next side of that is encouraging yourself. Do not stop. Do not give up. I am talking to myself. Do not give up on what it is that you know that you have been called to do and what you have been called to be. It's going to be a journey. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to be a journey, but I promise you, I would rather you get in the game now than to be sitting on the sidelines and wishing that you would have started right now. If this episode resonated with you, and I hope it really did, please let me know in the comment section. Definitely leave me your thoughts. Let me know where you are in your journey. Have you started a brand? Tag your business, tag your social media handles. Let us know how to follow you. Let us know how to support you. Let me know how I might be able to support you as the pink elephant. And just know that we are all trying to do the best that we can. So be the sister that you want for yourself. All right. This is the Pink Elephant Podcast, y'all. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy yourself and make sure you give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later. Bye, y'all.